Hello, my Cancer loves. How are you doing today? This video is for Cancer suns and rising ascendants. So we're gonna start by doing a horoscope prediction, an astrological reading about what this full moon in Scorpio will look like for you, Cancer. And then we're gonna do a tarot reading, an intuitive tarot reading for you as well. So we're gonna get all the goodies. And I just like to start by asking you to think back to November of 2020, because that was the new moon in Scorpio. And so we can see this time period now, the full moon in Scorpio, as a completion of the themes or the concepts or the seeds that you planted during that time. So anything related to that time period for you will be culminating right now. So to begin, Cancer, this full moon is happening in your 5th house. And the house in which the full moon is transiting represents the area of life or the special sort of part of your life that it's happening in. The 5th house is ruled by Leo, and it is about romance, marriage, creativity, playfulness, childlike spirit, as well as your own children too. And so during this time period, you want to have fun. Maybe potentially the demands of life, being a grown-up, recently has been all-consuming. And so during this time period, it is pulling you to enjoy yourself and to find some creativity and play. We can also see that a tarot correspondence to Leo that rules the 5th house is Major Arcana 8, which is the Strength card. And this is a card of eroticism, of creativity, of harnessing your inner fortitude and strength in your life. And so I just gotta say, I have on my notes here that you're probably having the most fun during this Scorpio full moon out of any of the signs, Cancer, because you're in the house of playfulness and enjoyment. And something that we can see here is that you may have challenges balancing your creative time and what you're interested in doing with the work that you need to do, but you need to find time for play, for getting curious, for trying new things so that you can feel whole, you can feel connected to your purpose. And you may be required to complete a creative project at this time, or a creative project that potentially you started back in November or in the new moon is coming to fulfillment. This can also be about your love affairs. You may be feeling a pull to devote your unrequited love to somebody. You may be feeling like you want to express that to someone, or you may be turning a part of your relationship into something new. That could look like you going deeper into your relationship, or you finding a lover as well. This time period also can connect to your relationship with your children. Something may have begun with your children 6 months ago-ish, and that's coming to a completion right now. Or maybe for some of you, I don't want to, predict it for you if you don't want it, but some of you Cancers may be getting pregnant during this time, or finding out that you're pregnant. And especially with it being a Scorpio energy, a Scorpio full moon energy, that's secrets and revelations coming to light. It may be unexpected. So check. So it's time to end a personal project, hobby, or a fling, and the need for self-expression during the Scorpio full moon is strong. So we can see with the Scorpio and with Cancer, how do they interact? That's what I want to ask. How do they interact? And so you are the cardinal water sign, and Scorpio is the fixed water sign. And so you can almost interpret this as you began this energy, water energy, emotion, intuition, psychic, mediumistic skills. And then now Scorpio is bringing that energy that you started to fruition. So you already kind of get the Scorpio energy because you're both water signs. And the sign in which the moon is located determines how the moon is manifesting itself. So, for example, the moon may manifest itself in a way that Aries would, which is excitedly and passionate, or in the case of Scorpio, it's transformative and bringing secrets to life and things about power and control. And so, you know, what I have here is, are you ready for playtime, Cancer? Because this is a perfect time for you to tap into that inner child, to maybe walk on the wild side a little bit. This Scorpio energy is encouraging you to be playful, to get curious, to maybe be a little bit bad, but, you know, be careful with that energy too. But this is a good time to be sort of facetious and funny and silly and sweet and try new things. Also, during a Scorpio moon transit, your instincts and your intuition are hypercharged, and you're willing to take risks to pursue things, whether it be love or money or career things, lots of different areas of life. You're willing to take a risk right now because you feel kind of cocky, confident. And during this couple of days, you can do things you never thought you'd dare to do, even if they later prove unwise. So keep that in mind. Find a balance with the risk taking, or, you know, do as you want. At least you're growing. So that is your horoscope prediction for the full moon in Scorpio. Up next, we're going to do a tarot pull. And what I have created for this is just sort of an adapted Celtic cross tarot spread. And I've linked the spread that I've created in the bio below. But if you know the Celtic cross, very similar. And we're going to do it for the upcoming week, 2 weeks of this full moon in Scorpio energy. So let us begin. Okay, so the first we have is, what is the current situation happening for you, Cancer? And the current situation is, Nine of Swords. So current situation, you may be feeling a lot of anxiety, and this maybe has to do with your work or the projects that you've been working on, or maybe your relationship. And during this, because it's the Nine of Swords and swords are about mental energy, then you may have just had a lot of different thoughts on your mind recently that have been clouding your vision. And then your challenge, your help, or your hindrance during this time is the Knight of Coins, or in some decks, the Knight of Pentacles. So I see this as a help in a lot of ways. The Knight of Pentacles is on a quest. This is a youthful, but not too youthful, you know, a young adult energy. And it has to do with material possession, structure, stability, the physical things in the world around you. So in this position, I would say this is part of yourself that has been looking to build something that will provide you with structure and provide you with support. And maybe what you've been having anxiety about is how you retain abundance. How do you retain a foundation for yourself that's going to help take care of you into the future. And the Knight of Swords, or not the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Coins is suggesting that you're working towards this and you're able to, you know, to cultivate it, but you are not yet done learning the lessons. So that is your help or your challenge. And then what is underneath the surface for you? What are your unconscious motives and subconscious motivators and desires? And that is the Ace of Wands. And so aces, very fortuitous. So far we have a swords, a coins, and a wand. And this wand's energy is one of transformation, of creativity, of bringing something to light, bringing something to life and using your willpower to do so. And especially with the wands, it's a fiery energy, a passion of something that you care about. So what I can maybe see this as is you trying to complete a project, or you trying to bring something out into the world, or having an initial spark or inspiration about something in your life. And then Cancer, the recent past for you has been the Hermit. So you maybe recently have been really getting deep into your hole, digging into that space where you're working on stuff by yourself. This may mean that you're not disconnected from other people, but you're taking time on your own. This has been a very big card pull for many people during this year of COVID, interestingly enough, is this being on your own, but being connected to a bigger community. You are not in it alone, but you are taking time, and you have been taking time to self-reflect and to think about what you need to take care of yourself and to take care of other people. And then we go to your conscious mind, the current hopes, ideals, and dreams that you have been working towards. And that is the Five of Wands. So interestingly enough, we have your conscious mind and your unconscious mind in alignment, at least in one way, with the wands, which are again, fiery energy, passionate, creative energy. The Five of Wands is usually, or can be seen in a challenging or an ill-aspected way sometimes, because this is having many different wills not necessarily working well together, but in some sort of conflict, trying to reach a point of collaboration. So this could mean you in your work environment have been having differing ideas or visions than the people that you work with, and you've been trying to work through them, or you're putting your will out there and you're in some ways either disregarding other people, or they're potentially putting their will out there and disregarding you. This may mean also, if it's in a more individual internal way, this could be you having a bunch of different ideas or a bunch of different projects you want to work with, but not being able to designate enough time to each of them to complete anything, and it makes you feel overwhelmed. And then we have your near future. Near future is the Six of Chalices, otherwise known as the Six of Cups. And this is a nostalgic card, a remembering of childhood. In a lot of ways, this can also be you reflecting on your childhood, reflecting on your past, and bringing up some of the things from childhood to heal. Potentially traumas from childhood being brought to the surface so that you can transmute, mitigate, work through them. And it may also mean that you are maybe wanting to leave the present a little bit, get playful and childish, and remember what made you really happy when you were a kid. So this could be a great time for you to listen to music that you really loved when you were young, or play games that you did when you were young, or play with if you have children, play with your children and really get excited and into the game. But this coming up in the future is suggesting that reconnecting to parts of your childlike self would be helpful. Also, just the full moon in Scorpio is a really great time for reflecting, for self-evaluation, self-assessment and examination, because as are you, Cancer, Scorpio is the water energy as well, which brings up themes of your intuition, of your unconscious, your subconscious. So reflecting, taking care of yourself, tapping into what your inner child needs is things that this is a good time coming up in the future to do those things. And maybe they can help you align some of the creative insights that you have, or things that you want to bring to the surface. And then also we can see the near past as the Hermit and the near future as the Six of Chalices, is that you are needing to spend some time alone to reflect on your life and on your childhood and on your past. And you also right now are in a place of the Nine of Swords, so anxiety and stress about different ideas. So maybe reconnecting to your initial purpose or your initial intention for whatever you're working on right now will be helpful. Do some values clarification, some journaling, even just take care of your body, take a bath, and eat some good food. Eat some food that you ate when you were a kid that was really delicious. So those are some things. And then up next, what we have is your current approach to the situation. And then we have how your environment is helping or hindering you, and how your environment is shaping what is going on in your life. And then we have something that you are not yet aware of that has been influencing you, and your distant future. So we can begin by looking at your current approach to this situation. And the current approach is Ten of Swords. Getting the 9 and the 10 of Swords is really intense. So, but it doesn't necessarily have to beget a really challenging situation for you. But what I'm seeing with this 10 of Swords is that it's time to let something go. Maybe you've been taking on, or some of you have been taking on, too many different projects, and you're split too many different ways. And this 10 of Swords is suggesting you gotta transform something. You gotta let something go. You've got too much on your plate. You see her? She's stabbed, and yet she's still trying to answer emails or something. So let it go. Take a break. Take an inner time where you can be alone and you can reflect. And this is also, I don't think it's Mars in Gemini, but this is Gemini mutable, changing energy. So when you let something go, then you're able to start the process of transformation so that you can bring in new energies into your life. And the 10 of Swords in your approach right now may be suggesting that by letting something go, you can bring in the things that you really want for yourself. And then we have your environment. Oh my fucking God. Okay. So we play with 2 decks so that we can get doubles if we want. And literally we have the other 9 of Swords. So I'll just put them up so you can see both of them. This is your environment. And this is also anxiety, dark night of the soul, anxiousness, stress, nightmare energy. And so I don't mean to laugh, I'm sorry, but it's just when we see so many intense cards like this, it's almost giving us an opportunity to use this defense mechanism of humor to work through it. So I would suggest that might be kind of helpful. But your environment is also feeling this anxiousness, especially during this full moon in Scorpio. A lot of people are going to be going through transformation, through self-reflection. Maybe it's not the best time to be out in the external world bringing things to light. It's a good time right now to be doing internal work, bringing things to light. So maybe during this 9 of Swords, you can use this as a time to, okay, maybe the anxiousness and the stress that I'm feeling is not just in me. Maybe other people are having this as well. And something that you can do either is understand your own stress and anxiety and then use that to help the other people around you, or just take care of yourself during this time. Also, we have the Hermit in the recent past, which governs the 9 of Swords. So this is part of the Hermit's journey, or one of the Hermit's tools is the 9 of Swords, which is understanding many different ideas, airy energy, flitting from thing to thing, but also making way for change. 9 of Swords can say that change is in the air. Yeah, man. And then we have something that has been influencing you that you're not yet aware of. And that is the Knight of Swords. So maybe you've been questing this energy. This Knight of Swords is on a quest, I dropped my ring, on a search for truth, going out into the world, bringing in new ideas, innovating things. So maybe all of this sort of intense intellectual energy and innovative energy that has been in some ways haunting you or troubling you is also something that you may be bringing on. So if I want to give you a little bit of a reading, this can mean that you're bringing in or making a drama out of too much, and you might need to let go of some things, and it might be a little bit easier for you to let go than you realize. But also this is maybe saying that this is a part of your journey, is going through all of this stress and anxiety to make you grow stronger so that you can get more insight. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And then your distant future, Ace of Swords. I would just like to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swords in this. A lot of intellectual energy, a lot of breaking things, changing things. Your future is you starting out with a new idea all over again. And that is part of it. All of the things that you have been working on or that have been pulling your attention recently may not matter as much in the future when you have a new idea. So realize that you are on a continuum and that things are going to change regardless. Having this Ace of Swords, new idea, in with the Knight of Swords is really be getting a lot of change happening for you. And the way that you're able to stay grounded and consistent is remembering this Knight of Coins energy, that you were also on a quest for building a foundation for yourself and for building stability. So that's it, Cancer. That is your reading for the next few weeks for the full moon in Scorpio. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And I also suggest that you go and look up your rising or your sun sign as well, so that you can get both of the videos. But I just want to say thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.